Hey, I am so excited that you want to get started with NotebookLM. I am confident you're going to use it all of the time. So let's start with this. We're going to go to notebooklm.google.com. Now that is a mouthful. So you're going to want to bookmark this, pin it in a tab because you're really going to use it all of the time. This is going to become your new partner. Now when you go to NotebookLM, the first thing you're going to see is that it's using the power of AI. It's using Google Gemini, but it is not the same as using the Google Gemini app. And I'll explain that in a minute. So it's really important is that you notice it says that your personal data is never used to train or improve NotebookLM. I am on a school account, and when you use Google Workspace, your school account is a Google Workspace account, and if you had a personal business or whatever, you might sign up for a paid version of Gmail, and that is Google Workspace. That's separate from your free Gmail. Just remember that when something is free, that you are the product, so you very likely are training things when using free products, so just keep that in mind. So go ahead and click OK. So welcome to NotebookLM. And you're going to just create your first notebook. It's that easy. Now, is it that easy? Because you have to have access. Now, while it's free, it is included in Google for Education, even the free versions of Google for Education. It could be disabled by your IT department. So if you're not able to access it, go ahead and contact your IT department and ask them, like, why would you guys block this? It doesn't use our data to train their models, and you can turn on just for teachers even just to get started. So it's as easy as going to notebooklm.google.com, and then you're going to click create a new notebook. Now here's what's going to make it really unique to using Google Gemini or ChatGPT or any of these other products. Notice that it immediately asks you to add your sources. Add my sources. That's right, because unlike regular, like I go to gemini.google.com or ChatGPT and I can just start chatting. I can just ask a question. Write me 10 multiple choice questions for a quiz on the topic of figurative language. I can't do that with NotebookLM because NotebookLM is based on your own sources, which is what makes it so cool. Then you know that the things that it's creating and the tips that it's giving you is not based on the dumpster fire of the internet. And I feel like I'm constantly just spending my time telling AI, that's not true, that's not true. With NotebookLM, I know that what it's sourcing is the documents I uploaded, and it also gives me the citation of where in those documents it got that information from. So it allows me to be a lot more in control of my AI. This is amazing. Now, I do use both. Absolutely. And we'll get into that later. But your first task is to think about, what are any documents that I have that I might be able to create a notebook out of? Now, this is not your entire Google Drive. This is going to be for a specific purpose and focus because you're going to be able to chat with those documents. You're going to be able to create resources based on those documents. And trust me, you don't want to muddy the water. I'll give you an example. I was working on something where I downloaded all of the help pages. I did control P print, control P print, control P print 129 times, and I downloaded all of the public help files. That is great. So what I'm able to do when I put that in a NotebookLM is now when I ask things into the AI, it's going to be pulling it from the help resources. So it's a lot. So I don't have to Google search and look through these dry documents. I'm able to get answers and suggestions and actually create things right out of that material. But then I made the mistake of uploading some internal documents also, things that aren't for public facing, but for me to be FYI for me, but not something I want others to know. So I mixed them together in the same notebook. And then when I was making resources, it was putting out stuff in the resources that I intended to be public, but I didn't want that information to be public necessarily. So you want to narrow this way down. You can have more than one notebook. You can have like a lot of notebooks. So think more specifically like per unit or just for your class for looking at standards for algebra, not algebra and geometry, because I'm a math teacher. So this is your task for right now is to think about what sources could you load into a NotebookLM that are really specific for you to do one project on, because you can always make another.